Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to Coffee English Bedtime Story Practice. Tonight, I have a special story for you. This story is about dreams, being brave, and never giving up. Before we start, remember this. If you don't know some words, don't worry. Just listen to the story like a warm blanket. Let the English sounds help you relax. Tonight, we will travel to France and then to the stars. We will meet an amazing girl who never let people stop her dreams. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let's start our story. It's about a girl who showed the world that big dreams can come true. In a small town in France, there lived a little girl named Marie Dubois. Her family was poor. Her father worked in a factory. Her mother cleaned offices at night. They needed money for food and their small apartment. They lived above a bakery. Every day, they could smell fresh bread. Every night, they counted their money. Marie was 8 years old when she first saw the stars. It was a hot summer night. The lights went out in their building. Marie went up to the roof to get cool air. She lay down on the warm roof and looked up at the night sky. What she saw took her breath away. Thousands of stars were shining like diamonds. The moon looked so close. She felt like she could touch it. In that moment, something magical happened in Marie's heart. She didn't just want to look at the stars. She wanted to go there. She wanted to fly in space and see Earth from far away. "I'm going to be an astronaut," she said to the stars that night. "I'm going to fly to space and visit you." The next day, Marie told everyone about her dream. She told her parents at breakfast. She told her teacher at school. She told the baker and the old woman who sold newspapers. But nobody was excited. They all laughed. "Marie, be realistic," her father said. He sounded tired. "Astronauts come from rich families. They go to expensive schools. We can't even buy you new school books." Her teacher was sad. "Marie, you don't even speak English well. All astronauts must speak perfect English. Maybe you should think about working in a shop or an office. Those are good jobs for girls like you." Her classmates were worse. They pointed and laughed when she talked about space. "Marie thinks she's going to the moon," they said. "Look at her old shoes and old clothes. Astronauts wear special suits, not clothes from old stores." But Marie had something inside her that was stronger than their laughter. Her dream was like a small plant. Even when people were mean, it grew bigger every day. Every night, she went to the roof and talked to the stars. Every day after school, she went to the library. She read every book about space that she could find. The librarian was named Madame Laurent. She was an old woman with kind eyes. She worked in the library for 40 years. When Marie asked for books about astronauts and space, Madame Laurent smiled. She helped Marie find the best books. "You know, Marie," Madame Lawrence said one day, "I have English books about space too. If you really want to be an astronaut, you should start learning English now." Marie's eyes became bright with excitement. "But I don't know any English. It looks so hard." "Everything looks hard before you learn it," Madame Laurent said wisely. "I learned English when I was young. I wanted to read books that were not in French. If an old woman like me could learn English, a smart girl like you can learn it too." So Marie began to study English. She worked as hard as she studied everything else. She borrowed English books from the library. She watched English movies with words at the bottom of the screen. She practiced speaking English words alone on the roof under the stars. It was like she was already talking to astronauts from America and Russia. Her family thought she was wasting her time. "Marie, you're dreaming too big," her mother said one evening. "It's good to have dreams, but you need to be practical. Study something that will help you get a normal job and make money." "Why don't you study business?" her father asked. "My friend's daughter works at a bank now. She makes good money and has a nice office." But Marie kept studying. When her classmates played video games or watched TV, she read about rockets and space. When other teenagers talked about boys and clothes, she learned about science and math. Years passed. Marie's dream never got smaller. She worked part-time jobs after school. This helped her family and saved money for her education. She cleaned the same offices where her mother worked. She delivered newspapers early in the morning before school. She helped the baker on weekends. She did all this while keeping perfect grades. She never stopped studying English and science. When Marie was 18, she applied to study rocket engineering at the best university in France. Her teachers were shocked when she got accepted. She even got a scholarship. The university would pay for her education. Her parents were proud, but still worried. "It's wonderful that you got into university," her father said. "But rocket engineering is so hard. Maybe you could study something easier." "Papa," Marie said with a gentle smile, "I've been getting ready for this my whole life. I'm not going to stop now when I'm so close to my dream." University was the hardest thing Marie had ever done, but it was also the most exciting. She studied harder than ever before. She learned difficult math, science, chemistry, and engineering. Her English became very good. She read scientific papers and talked with students from around the world. Some of her university classmates still had doubts. "Marie is smart," they said, "but becoming an astronaut is almost impossible. Maybe she should work for an airplane company instead." But Marie learned to use doubt like fuel. Every time someone told her that her dream was impossible, she studied harder. Every time someone said she should try something easier. She pushed herself to reach higher. After university, Marie applied to the European Space Agency. This is the group that sends people to space in Europe. The training program was very difficult. Only 6 people were chosen from thousands of people from all over Europe. Marie was one of the 6. The training took 2 years. She learned to live with no gravity. She learned to fix complicated machines while wearing a heavy spacesuit. She learned to stay calm when things were dangerous. She learned to work with astronauts from different countries. She did all this while speaking perfect English. Back in her small town, people started to pay attention to Marie's journey. The local newspaper wrote articles about the girl from our town who might go to space. Some people were excited and proud. Others still said she was reaching too high. Then one day, everything changed. There was an emergency on the International Space Station. This is a big space laboratory where people live and work in space. Something important was broken, and the astronauts there were in danger. The repair was very difficult. It needed someone with Marie's special engineering knowledge. The space agency needed to send someone quickly. Marie was chosen for the emergency mission. On a bright morning in May, Marie Dubois from the small French town got into a rocket and flew into space. As her rocket lifted off from Earth, she thought about that little 8-year-old girl. That girl had first seen the stars from a roof and dared to dream the impossible. In space, Marie worked for 6 days to fix the space station. She saved the lives of her astronaut friends. The whole world watched as this young woman from France used her knowledge and courage to solve problems that could have ended badly. When Marie looked down at Earth from the space station windows, she saw her home planet. It looked like a beautiful blue and green ball floating in the darkness. She thought about all the people who had told her to aim lower, to be more realistic, to have ordinary dreams. Now, she was looking down at the world from higher than any of them had ever imagined. But instead of feeling angry or proud in a mean way, Marie felt something different. She felt grateful. She realized that their doubt had made her stronger. Their lack of belief had forced her to believe in herself even more. She learned that when people try to make your dreams smaller, it's usually because they made their own dreams smaller. When Marie came back to Earth as a hero, everyone wanted to meet her. The same classmates who had laughed at her dream now wanted to take photos with her. The same teachers who had told her to be realistic now said they always knew she would succeed. "Marie, you're so famous now," said one of her old classmates at a welcome home party. "I always believed you would make it to space. Do you remember how I supported your dream in school?" Marie looked at this person who had actually made fun of her for years. she felt no anger at all. Instead, she smiled with real kindness. "Thank you for saying that," she said simply. "I hope my journey helps you follow your own dreams, whatever they are." Another person from her past came to her. "Marie, I have a daughter now, and I tell her about you all the time. I tell her she can be anything she wants to be." "That's wonderful," Marie replied warmly. "Please tell her that the most important thing is not to listen when people say her dreams are too big. The world needs people who dream big dreams and work hard to make them real." Marie learned something beautiful during her journey to the stars. She discovered that success is not about proving other people wrong. Success is about proving to yourself that you can do more than you ever imagined. The best victory is not making others feel small, but helping them believe that they too can reach for something greater. Marie returned to her small town as a changed person. But she didn't change because she was now famous or successful. She had changed because she learned that the power to achieve dreams comes from inside, not from what other people think or say. She started visiting schools to talk to children about following their dreams. She always told them the same thing: your dreams are not too big. You are not too small. The world needs what only you can give it. Don't let anyone make your light smaller just because it makes them feel more comfortable. Marie also started a program to help children from poor families study science and engineering. She knew that dreams without education are just wishes. But education without dreams is just preparation for a boring life. She wanted to give children both the tools and the courage to reach for the stars. Years later, when Marie was getting ready for her second space mission, a reporter asked her a question. "What advice would you give to young people who have big dreams but face a lot of doubt from others?" Marie thought for a moment and then smiled. "I would tell them to remember that diamonds are made under pressure. Every time someone tells you that your dream is impossible, let that pressure make you stronger and more beautiful. The stars are waiting for those who are brave enough to reach for them." And late at night, when Marie looked up at the same stars she had talked to as a little girl on that roof, she whispered a message of thanks to the universe. She was grateful for giving her the courage to never give up on the impossible. She had learned that the greatest distance is not between Earth and the stars. The greatest distance is between dreaming and doing. And sometimes the people who help you the most are the ones who doubt you the loudest. They force you to find a strength you didn't know you had. And so ends our story tonight, dear friends. Like Marie Dubois, each of you has dreams that might seem too big or too difficult. Maybe people have told you that learning English perfectly is impossible, or that your goals are not realistic. Remember Marie's journey from a small apartment above a bakery to the International Space Station. Your dreams are not accidents. They were put in your heart for a reason. Like Marie, you might face doubt from others, and even from yourself sometimes. But every time you study English, every time you practice listening to stories like this one, every time you choose to keep learning instead of giving up, you are taking one more step toward your own stars. You don't need anyone else's permission to dream big. You don't need anyone else's approval to work toward what your heart wants most. Like the little plant that grows through concrete, you're strong, can overcome any obstacle. Thank you for joining me tonight for this Coffee English Bedtime Story Practice. Remember that you can do extraordinary things. Sleep well, dream of endless possibilities, and wake up tomorrow ready to take another step toward your own impossible dreams. Good night, and may your dreams reach as high as the stars.